guest for today is former Marvel Senior Visual Development Artist and Creative Director of Dolphin Entertainment, Anthony Francisco. How did he get to work on some of the biggest characters at Marvel? Let's get to know more about Anthony in this episode. Hi Anthony, welcome to Stronger Together, the GMA Pinoy TV podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So you are currently the creative director of Dolphin Entertainment. But before that, you were the senior visual development artist at Marvel Studios. You're even called the visual father of Baby Groot. Can you share with us your journey on how you became a visual artist?
It's a long journey. It feels like it's been years, but I've been doing visual design, concept art, as it's kind of more widely known, maybe 23 years now. And 9 of those years have been at Marvel Studios. Books, Incredible Hulk being one of my first things I'd love to draw. Then Wolverine became my favorite thing to draw. But in high school, I would not eat lunch so I could buy my comic books. I've been made fun of too sometimes, like, oh, that's so immature, your comic books. And it's funny that now it's what made me, be able to buy a house, feed my family, and all that stuff.
So, nasa na yung mga collection mo, Anthony?
Nandito pa, yung pinakauna kong comic book, nasa akin pa.
What was it?
It's X-Men 206.
How much is it worth now?
I never checked, actually, but I'll probably never sell it. I can't believe I still have it. That's how important I think my comics books were to me. And I'd put in a plastic bag with a backing board, right? And just really not look at it as often.
When you were a kid, did you used to watch like all these superheroes? Paano ka namulat sa world of comic books?
When I was like at 4 years old, I think, I remember drawing already at 4 or 5. And I think as I like film a lot too, because I would have my, Star Wars figures and I would think of reverse shot, but I didn't know what it was yet. But drawing was a way to get my ideas out. But when I seriously started collecting, I think I was in high school already, 13 maybe. Yeah, that's when I started having more collection. And not only X-Men, I collected some Batman, the Sandman, which was my favorite, and then Frank Miller, John Byrne, Arthur Adams, one of my favorites. And of course, when I was younger, I loved watching Voltus 5, Dimos, the big robots. Those were amazing.
Why do you love these superheroes?
Well, first, the comic book itself, the way things are drawn. I just love looking at drawings, I guess. And when I was not too lazy to read, because I used to not read too much, but when I started reading, I was like, whoa, the stories are actually really interesting. And X-Men in particular, I love because they felt like regular people. Most of the Marvel superheroes feel like they have the same problems as I have, outcast, being bullied, but then they rise up to the occasion and then, learn how to use their powers properly, responsibility. A lot of that stuff, I think I could say I learned a lot of how to deal with people and kindness and, just being like a superhero, from the comic books.
What are some of the biggest challenges you had to face when you were just starting?
I would say the hardest part, most artists and myself, is self-doubt. You're always feeling you can't make it, or he's better than me, instead of focusing on how you can get better. Then you get depressed and then you stop working on your stuff. But luckily, my personality is a little bit more on the positive side. My first job that I ever got, I had a friend that was talking to him first, right? He's a bigger guy, talking to Alec Gillis, the owner of ADI. So it's a special effects company. And I was behind my friend and I was kind of scared, I'm not sure if I should talk to him, but I know this is my chance. And then I'm okay, maybe let me just wait. But the nice thing about Alec was he kind of saw me visually kind of looking like I'm about to, and I got shy and he just goes, you over there, are you an artist too? And I said, yes, I am. Alec goes, show me your portfolio. The funny thing is the day I go to present my work, Alec was looking at my portfolio, the ones that the clean one, he's looking through it and he didn't look like he was impressed. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to get this. And he goes, you have your sketchbook with you? He asked me. So I took out my sketchbook. And then that's when he got more impressed because he saw my notes, my design sense, my, experimentation with shapes and all that stuff. And that's when he hired me on the spot.
He was more interested in the process
I would say though, my finished product, since I was nervous and I was trying to make it clean, it became too filtered and too like not as creative. But in my sketchbook, I don't hold back because no one's gonna see it. So I've learned to make every design I do now like my sketchbook where I don't hold back.
How long does it take you to design something?
At Marvel, sometimes things are fast, and even characters like, remember Guardians of the Galaxy 2? There's a character named Ego. He's Russell's character, the dad of Peter Quill. So he took like 8 months, to work on. Yeah, it's not just me. There's like almost all of us were working on him because he was an interesting problem to solve. Is he a planet? Is he a human? So we tried different takes, different styles, also different feeling, like is it retro, is it futuristic? And I would say one of my designs became kind of the roadmap for them to follow in visual effects and in the art department, because it's like the structure of Ego underneath. So that's what it was. So it started from there. I'm proud of that. I'm glad I got to help with that. And the team at Marvel Studios, the team's called Visual Development Department. So in the beginning, there was just like 5-6 of us designing the whole of MCU. It's pretty crazy,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive. How about Baby Groot? How long did it take you to design Baby Groot?
Baby Groot. Oh, man. So Baby Groot, I got to design him from the pot all the way up to Swole Groot in, the holiday special. So in between, there's Teen Groot, there's Adolescent Groot.
Whose idea was it? Like the pot?
James Gunn, his idea, because the adult Groot dies, right? Spoilers for everyone that hasn't watched it. So sorry, you have to watch it now.
Yeah, you have to watch it now.
Yeah, you have to watch it. He wanted to bring him back, so it was like a cuter Groot, and I was tasked with the idea of trying to make that little bark become like a tree or a plant. First, I thought it could just be like a little seed. He wanted a face on a stick. That's kind of like what he was saying. So it's kind of funny. And I think that took about a week to design. I think I just captured what he wanted right away. I'm really fortunate that it happened and that he just became a viral sensation, I guess.
Did you feel any pressure designing Baby Groot? Or did you know right away how you're going to design it?
I rarely feel pressure, I guess, because I'm always excited. Because, I did not grow up rich or anything. And when I'm in a situation where I'm getting paid to have fun drawing, it's like I'm just having fun. And plus, I'm a bit competitive, and very proud of how I design stuff. So it's like work ethic and happiness and everything. So I had no time to really think about if I'd fail on this. So by this time, I've been doing this for 15 years already. So it's kind of like I'm used to the pressure already. But I know it's a big budget film, right? And with Baby Groot, though, I didn't know he was a main character. I'm trying to think back if there's any time I really felt pressure, like I got scared I'll get fired.
You don't feel the pressure, but you feel excited. And then that's good. That's your motivation.
You remember Infinity War where Thanos versus Doctor Strange? And when Thanos brought down the moon on Doctor Strange? So that was my idea. So I came up with that. When they came to me and asked, so my supervisor, Ryan Meinerding, he compliments me as someone who could do crazy ideas. And it's like, okay, Anthony, they are tasking you now with a battle between Doctor Strange and Thanos. Something epic that we've never seen before. So that was the description. And that's all I got. And I just made different versions of it. That was so much fun. I probably thought a little bit like, oh, this is scary at first. But then once I get going, it's like, wow. So I think that's the one time I felt a little bit of pressure, but it went away as soon as I started drawing.
Kapuso, subscribe to GMA Pinoy TV and feel closer to home with our all-time favorite shows. Itbulaga, Bubble Gang, 24 Oras, and Kapuso Mo Jessica Soho. You can also enjoy award-winning news programs, documentaries, lifestyle shows, and many more on GMA Live TV and GMA News TV. GMA channels are available in the U.S. through various pay TV providers. To know more, visit gmapinoytv.com/subscribe or follow us at GMA Pinoy TV on social media. The past 2 years have been the time we spent making, baking, planting, renovating, laughing, adding, and trying. But no matter what life throws at us, there will always be something to lift our spirits and give us sparks of hope. We invite you to tell us your stories with shots and snippets of the things that helped you survive this pandemic. Send your snapshots and stories to PinoyInbox@gmanetwork.com and we'll feature them on our newest inspirational segment, Pockets of Hope, on GMA Pinoy TV.
Welcome back. Anthony shares some of the setbacks he had to deal with in his career and his plans on publishing another book soon.
Did you ever apply for a job and then you got rejected? Have you experienced that?
Yes, you just reminded me. I did experience that. In the beginning of my career, yes, a lot, but you will get rejected. I'm not as good. But when the point that it felt a little harder, I got a bit depressed, I could say, is when I was already in 10 years, right? I've been working for a while. Everyone there were my friends. So when I went in there to show my stuff, they were like, they're talking to me like I'm hired already because they know how good I am in what I do. But someone else had to make the decision. It was a producer that had someone else in mind. But the good thing about that piece is that I turned it into this book called Spectrum. And it's my first piece I turned in. And usually you don't just get in, but it got into the top fantasy artists in that book. So
but you also have another book, The Uber Monsters.
Oh yes, I do. This is my book. Thanks for asking me. I usually sell it during conventions, because it's a limited run. I just have 100 copies left.
Are you planning on making another one soon?
Yes, I want to do one that's more a topic of how to design costumes, because I really want people to know what I put into designing, the Dora Milaje. I also designed Namor for the new Black Panther. Yeah, his necklace is very close to my heart because I researched so much about that, and it came into a dream of mine, the Kukulkan, one of the mythologies in the Mayan culture. Even with the Dora Milaje, I designed Okoye's costume too, by the way, and that's why I want to do the book.
How did you get the inspiration for that?
With Dora Milaje, Okoye, and Nakia, before that, I'd already been working in the industry for a while. I've been working on games and stuff, and I always loved the African culture, the warriors. Specifically, there's this book that had the Dinka tribe, and they had this particular corset. I always use it in most of my work because it's just so striking. So I've developed shapes based on that, on this game Project Offset, these dark elves. And that's where it kind of started. When I was researching the most iconic warrior, usually people think of the samurai, right? So I was like, can I make a samurai-like iconic for Wakanda? So that's how I slowly came up with the idea of Koya's costume being more samurai-esque, kind of, because the centerpiece is one of those samurai armors, and then her sleeve is a samurai sleeve, right? But instead of putting a scarification on her arm, so I made it a sleeve instead, and the beading influenced by a lot of Native American, indigenous cultures. And that's kind of what I was trying to do to represent this African scarification. Then I have this one part that put it all together. Of course, the Igorot tribe in the Philippines. That is what kind of the spice on top of it, I would say, because the colors popped a certain way where it's still harmonizing well. Next time I go there, I would love to do the tribal immersion where I could check out the different tribes and their customs and just sit down with them and just study,
What do you remember most about your childhood in the Philippines?
the first thing that came to my head for some reason was the unripe mangoes that I love with the bagoong and the salt.
The green mango, yes, that's my favorite with the one
Yes.
that's inside a jar with the water.
Oh, that one too. That is also, I love that one. The pickled mangoes. Taho, obviously.
GMA Pinoy TV Stronger Together music is now available worldwide. Streaming on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and other digital platforms.
You can now use the Stronger Together stickers in your group chats, messages, and stories. Just search Stronger Together on Viber, Telegram, and Instagram stories. For more details, visit GMA Pinoy TV's social media accounts. Download now, Kapuso!
Welcome back! Anthony knows how difficult it is to succeed in his line of work, and that is why part of his plans is to come home and teach some of the young Filipino visual artists.
Do you plan on coming here and maybe giving mentorship to aspiring artists?
How did you know? You read my mind.
That would be great. You're paving the way for the future artists, Filipino artists.
It would be nice to go around the universities, Ateneo, La Salle, and UST. Obviously, I went to UST.
So did you finish college here?
Isang year lang.
How did your family take it when you said that I am going to be an artist?
My dad actually is more supportive. We just didn't know how to get there, right? No one actually knew you could make a lot of money being an artist or in film. I know my other relatives, my grandma, I remember she used to say on my mom's side, "Oi, why can't you draw like, pretty things like flowers? Why is always monsters?" And always demons. One time I painted Lucifer with his hand, his muscles. I was just designing the bad guy for my good guy. Tapos yung nanay ko medyo natakot or something, and then she called the priest to talk to me. Baka napopossess na daw ako.
What are you doing now in your new job at Dolphin Entertainment? Is it kind of like the same, like what you did with Marvel?
It's very different because I am writing more now, and I am the reason I actually ended up leaving Marvel is because I was able to get funding for my original IP, and that is Creature Chronicles. Aside from other things they're helping me with, which is the Filipino folklore, doing my sizzle reel for that.
What are your current projects that fans should watch out for?
For the new Ant-Man coming out, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So exciting because I got to design MODOK, one of my favorite characters in that film. And I also got to work a little bit on Kang the Conqueror. So I can't wait for you guys to see it, and I can't wait for me to show my, artwork to everyone. The last film I worked on now before leaving Marvel was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So that's another one that's going to be coming out this year.
Any advice to young visual artists who would want to make it in the international scene?
Don't give up on your dream of doing like what you would love to do, even it seems like it's hard. Even if you do something you don't like, you might still fail at that. Might as well fail on the thing that you like to do, and eventually you will succeed. But in terms of art, I would also say create your own IP and your own characters, so you have that as your investment, just in case you could make that into something bigger. I was fortunate enough, that Dolphin Entertainment took a chance on me and saw Creature Chronicles, that world I created, to be one of their first IPs that we're developing now. And if anybody wants to join me on my Discord for that, I would do like live designing and brainstorming every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, my time. If you want to learn from me, that's one way for sure.
What is your biggest takeaway from your experiences?
To not be afraid. I think that's what I'm trying to say. To not be afraid with pushing your art and being just experimenting and not just being content with keeping things average. When you want change, it's going to be tough, because it was hard for me to just leave Marvel, because it's like I could be there forever, it's like a perfect job for me. I love it. But I realized something was just me wanting to tell stories of my culture, my background. And I think that has suddenly become in the forefront, and I had to like talk about that. So don't wait too long, people. Just do what you think you want to do now. We're running out of time.
Thank you and congratulations. And we are looking forward to your future projects. Thank you, Anthony.
Yes, thank you again for having me.
Stronger Together, the GMA Pinoy TV podcast, is an original production of GMA International. This episode is produced by Gerald Vista and edited by Anton Taguinot.